I'm in the middle of the day and it's an unusual moment to be out there and to photograph as a landscape photographer. But there are certain occasions when photographing in the middle of the day in this harsh light can work. Now I will show you the technique that I'm using. We will discuss choosing what focal length depending on the subject, and then I will show you how I'm constructing the image, starting with the lens with no filters on it, and then adding filter after filter. When you want to photograph during the day, there are a couple conditions that you need to have. So first of all, you need some clouds. If you don't have clouds, you can do some photos, but it's not for landscape photography. The moment you have clouds, you need to have a little bit of wind. And then you need an impressive foreground element like that tree over there.
I built up walls like mansions to the sky, protect my heart so it would survive. But you climbed in like no one else could do, the day I knew I needed you.
The first thing that you need to be careful is when you're choosing your subject during the day, you need the sun to be to your back. Not exactly into your back, but in this area, to the left or to your right. But you need the sun to your back in order to have lower contrast and to have a better definition and better color in the subject. Right now I'm trying to decide if I'm going to use the 17 to 40 millimeter or the 24 to 105. Basically it's the 17 or the 24 millimeter focal length. And the way I'm evaluating is thinking about the composition. The tree has to fit inside the composition, and I also need to have some moving clouds because I'm going to do a long exposure. So I'm going to go closer, 17 millimeters in a landscape format, and now the 24. The 24 I think is too much. I think I'll go back to the 17. And there are some clouds up there, so probably, let's see, something like this. If I'm getting lower, I think this works really well. I decided that the 17 millimeter works best for this situation, and now it's time to construct the photo. First of all, no filters, and after that I'm going to keep adding filters to see the final result and the maximum that I can get from the photo plus the editing in each situation. So right now I'm starting with having no filters on the lens, and let's do the framing. I'm at f11, ISO 100, and let's see the exposure time. 250th of a second. Now the next step is to add a polarizer, and I think in terms of accessories the polarizer is an absolute must because you can't replicate its effect in editing. So let's see. The exposure time, of course, will decrease because the polarizer adds some stops of light, and I'm at 125th of a second. And when you're using the polarizer on a lens that it's that wide, you need to be extra careful because you may end up having only some parts of the sky polarized and some areas not polarized, and that doesn't look that good. I will still use a gradiated filter because I want to bump the exposure a little bit more in the tree. Yeah, so I'm using the 3-stop soft gradiated filter. This way I can go with from 120th of a second to 60th of a second, and this is my base exposure. Now I will switch to bulb mode. I hope you found this information useful. Now I think you have a better understanding on how to plan your long exposures or how to photograph during the day. If you have something to add or you have a question, use the comment section below. Until next time, keep on photographing because it's the only way to get better. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and bye bye.